Hello, everybody, and welcome to the League to the Past Randomizer Leagues. Continuing in Week 1, open settings. Today we have Yoshi's on Skis versus Op Gets Good, represented by eudaimonistic and NilssonAlex92. I'm Ricky of Kokiri, joined by Koi. How you doing, Koi?
I'm not ready. Okay, now I'm ready. What's up?
Hello. What you looking forward to today in this race? What you looking for?
Okay, so I joined the REC before the race started, and I sat down and I talked to Yuda and Nilsson, and I wanted them to understand. I need them to make really crazy plays. My suggestion was going into Ice Palace without hammer or flippers, and they said they'll do their best, but no promises. So I want to see like super crazy. I want to see somebody hover TR. Let's go.
Oh, wow. That would be crazy.
No, I think it's going to be a perfectly normal seed, and nothing strange is going to happen, and the best player will win. Who that is, I have no idea. What is Nilsson's sprite, by the way? Is that like a hairy link?
It's, I believe, the CDI link.
Oh, okay.
With the crazy hair.
But I believe the race should begin any minute now. Wait, this is just a normal seed, right? Open 7-7, defeat gain, randomized swords.
Yeah, week 1.
That has certain implications, like the openings. There's lots of different options for beginning the seed, where you can go, what you can do. But at the end of the day, everybody's just going to search for Dark World access. So unless somebody makes like a crazier play, like going straight into Eastern, we'll probably see pretty much the same routing in the beginning game. And then the mid game is where it really opens up, and you have like hammer gloves or mitts, and you have a lot more options, and whoever picks correctly first definitely ends up with an advantage. Usually then the seed ends up with converging on a single item for most seeds, although not always, but typical items for like that are like the bow and the ice rod, which don't lock very much but are definitely needed.
And off we go, both starting in Link's house, 10 arrows.
Looks like both players going for the Uncle's start here. We got a map check there from Nilsson. See a pendant at Hera. Not fun. Hera's one of those dungeons that you can't help but walk past it at some point in this game.
Right.
So going in or not going in is ends up being a big point of contention.
Ooh, bombs on the tree pole. There were crystals at Desert Palace and Eastern Palace.
Yeah, bomb from the tree pole is really nice. Like the main purpose of the Uncle Start is to get an extra couple chances at getting early bombs before heading to Kakariko. But the tree pole means that you would have gotten those bombs even if you didn't go to the Uncle Start.
Right.
Of course, the players don't know that they each did the Uncle Start, so no time is really gained or lost. But they might feel a little behind in the early game, knowing that bombs, you didn't have to come here to get bombs. Ooh. It looks like Yuda and... Oh, they're both going into front of escape with just bombs. Well, at least they're going to get extra bombs. I think you go into front of escape here, though. Yeah. Because if you just wanted another tree pole, you just get it on the way from Sanctuary.
Right. Okay, so a bomb escape.
Yeah, this is it's not too unusual of a play. Like it's pretty standard fare. If you get a weapon from the Uncle Start, you also go to front of escape and minimize the time loss from having done the Uncle Start. You don't often see people do it though, just from finding bombs.
Exactly.
The bomb strats for these rooms are not quite as fast as if you said like the hammer or the sword or something. But they can be pretty fast if you have good strats. Yuda with a very good strat there. Nilsson having a lot more trouble, taking several bombs to kill this one guard. Yuda already taking the lead, 2 screens ahead. In the end, this won't be too impactful, but execution is very important in Randomizer. We talk a lot more about how swingy things become from like routing and item locations and things, but execution is a part of absolutely everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you just do everything faster than your opponent, you can check more locations and still win.
Oh, the bow!
Yeah, that's a big find there for Yuda. Of course, Nilsson will find it as well, assuming he doesn't walk into his own bomb. What are you doing? Okay, I thought it might hit him.
Walk away.
I was scared.
Okay.
Apparently, the bomb explosion cannot hit you from the other side of the chest. He was safe the whole time. Bow is also fantastic here because now we can just use the bow to kill the ball and chain guard, although it looks like Yuda had not thought of that possibility. Although he'll probably think of it now, because he's out of pots. Please don't use bombs to finish him off. Switch to the bow. There you go. Good job. You see Nilsson with his heads-up play of remembering, oh yeah, the bow kills things really fast. He cut down a lot of that time save that Yuda had over him. Execution giveth and it taketh away.
Oh, Yuda going straight to, it looks like Eastern Palace with that bow.
Yeah, this is definitely a go to Eastern Palace kind of moment for him. Maybe not like, everyone's first choice in this situation because those dark rooms are super annoying if you don't have a sword, but Yuda is a good player and he can totally handle it. Eastern is a crystal. We have a bow. Why not go there?
In the meantime, Nilsson is going up into the Lost Woods, possibly checking Lumberjack.
He does get that tier 2 triple, which is magic. And I'll check the bush crab here. Just arrows, and he should kill one more thing so he can get another bomb triple. He would like to have 3 bombs for Kakariko, but 2 should be enough.
Lumberjack's just 50 rupees.
We'll get that later, I'm sure.
And the glove in the back of Sarasala's closet.
Yeah, nice pickup there for Yuda. He's mostly, the main thing he's looking for right now, though, is, pieces for Dark World access, but also for a bottle or a flute to make his first trip to CAC a little more efficient than Nilsson's. Of course, the flute's just in Lost Woods, so,
wow.
Good luck for that. It's not super impactful just yet. Yuda will most likely be also going to Lost Woods at some point. But there's a possibility he routes it from the bottom and then he has to go up to Lost Woods and then back down, which would be slower than Nilsson's route here. I'm a little surprised Nilsson didn't kill anything after that tier 2 triple, since he knew that bombs were the tier 1. But he does have 2 bombs, he should be fine.
First chest of Eastern Palace is the big key.
Yeah, it's real nice. The ideal setup for Eastern here is to find a big key and 3 items in the first 4 chests.
Yes.
Then you get to skip the vanilla big key chest without any concern or whatever. You don't have to worry about it. Eastern big key chest is a very common location that players will try to skip in order to save a minute or so.
We got the lamp, bed, magic cape, and thieves in the blind's hut.
Yeah, lamp's going to be real nice for Nilsson because he hasn't been to Eastern yet. So his trips through Eastern will just be a little better than Yuda's because the dark rooms just always go faster if you have the lamp. And Yuda did find the compass, so he will be tasked with going to vanilla big key chest, but he still may choose to skip it. Yuda doing the Stalfos room here, but he messed up a little bit.
Whoops!
He looked like he turned just a little too soon on his walk across the room and missed the trigger. Gets it done, though. Even finds arrows to replace the ones he had to spend. And Nilsson finds a bottle, so both flute and bottle were on the way to Kakariko.
As well as
So,
hookshot.
nothing. Yeah, hookshot also a big item. Yeah, but with both flute and bottle in Kakariko or near Kakariko, there's no value in not going here. Of course, you know, Yuda doesn't know that the flute and the bottle are over here. Oh, Nilsson, no! That's not how. Okay.
Did he just soft lock himself?
Yes, he did. Okay, so Nilsson was doing what's commonly called the chicken clip. This is a purely for fun swag type thing where you pick up the chicken and try to throw it at the wall while the bomb is exploding. And if you time it right, the chicken goes through the wall, and it's hilarious. There is a bug, though. If you try and pick up a chicken at the same frame that it tries to move, you pick up a ghost chicken, and Link is stuck with his hands above his head holding a chicken that doesn't actually exist.
Oh, no.
You cannot throw the invisible ghost chicken because you don't actually have a chicken. And while you're holding something, even though it's not really there, you can't walk through a doorway. So the only way to stop it is to take damage, and Nilsson was in a room with nothing that can hurt him, so he was forced to save and quit out.
Ouch.
What he should have done if he wanted to fix it would be to walk into his own bomb explosion. He did have time to do that, but it seemed like he didn't realize what was happening quite fast enough, and he missed that opportunity.
In the meantime, eudaimonistic on Eastern Palace, the big key chest had just 20 rupees, so kind of a burn right there. Well, Nilsson's doing the race game, which has half magic.
The 20 rupees in the vanilla big key chest, it's not that bad, right? At least it's still an item. You know, it's not... It would have felt a little bad to skip it and then find out afterwards, oh, there was an item there, but I don't know what it was.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I think even if it's nothing, as long as you find an item there, it feels like it was worth it to go to that chest.
Looks like 10 arrows on the library shelf.
Yeah, this ended up not being like the biggest time loss for Nilsson, just maybe a little embarrassing. Because like there's no reason to do the chicken clip. You don't need to do that or anything. It's just for fun.
Another 10 arrows from Sick Kid.
Alright, Yuda setting up his top right. 5 arrows to the right. Oh, he killed the wrong one, though, so this is going to be a little more expensive for arrows, but he should still do pretty quick. Unless this happens. Uh-oh.
Okay.
He has enough arrows. He's fine.
There we go. There was 50 rupees in the chicken house, now that Nilsson's made it back.
Awesome. He will be able to buy bombs here. One, not really what he wants. He's looking for a little more. I would have liked to see him try to not buy bombs, like maybe go to Eastern instead and use his one bomb on Sahasrah's closet. You know, just to save the 50 rupees. But, you know, we don't have flippers. Rupees aren't a huge concern at the moment.
So, at about 10 minutes in, eudaimonistic already has his first crystal. Eastern Palace is cleared. And he is now going to the back of Escape.
Yeah, I imagine Nilsson will head to Eastern now. Yeah, Lamp and Bow, you can't really pass this opportunity up. Now, Nilsson's trip through Eastern will be a tad more efficient. Nice mirror there in the back of Escape. No small key there, because we found it in Sanctuary. Yuda not going to Dark Cross. Don't super blame him or anything. Like, no lamp, it's kind of annoying to do that without a sword.
Right.
But Nilsson's trip through Eastern will be a bit more efficient than Yuda's. Not only does he have the lamp, so those dark rooms will be a lot less troublesome, but he also has the hookshot, which will save a fair bit of time throughout Eastern. Yuta going up for the lumberjack check. This is a little surprising, I think. It's not too crazy to check lumberjack when you don't have the boots yet, but you know, it's pretty common play to wait for the boots to check this, or to do it like really, really, really early. So I thought without him going here at the start of the game, he would have put it off for a bit longer. But he gets that information, 50 rupees on the lumberjack. We won't need Aga for that.
So, eudaimonistic heading into Lost Woods. Nilsson is in Eastern Palace, basically doing checks the others already done. There was nothing of importance in Eastern Palace besides the crystal, huh?
No, I don't believe so. It was the glove and Sahasrar's hut was the only Sahasrar's hut was the only thing.
Right.
But this is where like execution really comes to play. And then also the routing options. So like Nilsson here with his hookshot is able to skip a few screen transitions and go straight to this chest, making this trip to Eastern, you know, just a little bit better.
Which is always nice.
If you and your opponent all do the exact same things, the person who did them faster wins, right? Of course, Yuta will be able to save some time over Nilsson in the exact same way by not soft locking in the chicken house. Nilsson also misses the chicken clip or the
Oh wow,
that's really surprising from runners of this caliber. Like it does look like he managed to get through it without too much trouble though. But the idea is you want to walk across the room until you're just a little bit past the halfway point, and then turn around and throw the pot. And both of them turned around just a bit too early and didn't give the Stalfos a chance to spawn before actually throwing the pot. Nilsson also choosing to play it safe here and go to vanilla big key rather than risking on the boss. He will be a little rewarded because the item is in this chest, but unfortunately not progression. Okay, I'm parched, so you talk for a while, Ricky, and I'll be right back.
Fair enough. So eudaimonistic's going through the bottom of the well. He's got his flute, lamp, now has the hookshot, and a bottle. Nilsson's about to be disappointed by that red rupee in Eastern. Yuta gets the most important item in the game, the bug net. I say sarcastically.
Why sarcastically? The bug net's awesome. It's not like we can swing bottles. This ain't Ocarina of Time. This is a real game. I'm just kidding. Ocarina of Time is too hard. That's why I don't play it.
Oh, he's going for the chicken clip and gets it.
Well, he doesn't soft lock at least. The perfect chicken clip. The chicken goes all the way through the wall and ends up standing in front of your chest and costing time. So it's weird. Like, best case scenario chicken clip is a time loss, but it's really, really fun. Wait, are there really fantasy points for chicken clipping? Is that a real thing?
No.
Oh, there should be. Nilsson, unfortunately, losing a little time here in the Igor room. Missed the one cycle. And goes for a bottom right strat here. He'll be able to kill the Armos here, but unfortunately it will not be a quick kill.
Careful.
It's okay. The Armos only hits like half a heart at a time. He was fine. Okay, so Yuta checks the item on race game He does not do it blind, and when he sees it's only half magic, he decides to nope out of it. So that will be a difference between them for the rest of this race. Yuta is essentially never going back for half magic.
Right. Which is interesting, because Nilsson did check the race game before he went and got it, so he knew it was half magic doing it.
It's a nice item to have. I can
absolutely.
I could definitely justify going to get it, especially at this point of the game where you have no idea what's going to happen. Like, half magic may very well end up being a big difference maker. So Nilsson and Yuta both finishing each other's checks and immediately both going down to South Shore. Yuta losing a little time here because he could have fluted to 7, but instead walks there. I think he just forgot about the flute for a second. But, you know, at the end of the day, both of them, they're very close to each other. Not a huge difference in time. I guess Yuta skipped leg day. He was just making up for it.
Alright, mini Moldarm Cave. See what we got.
Nilsson putting his hook shot to work there, taking out those mini Moldarms very efficiently.
The flippers. The Titans bit. So we still need the Moon Pearl, but we got access to one of the Dark World portals.
So we have Flute Mit's Mirror.
Yes.
All right. So I think it's pretty likely, it's not guaranteed, but it's pretty likely that's going to be leading to our Moon Pearl. I would definitely expect them to make a trip over to Desert and Checkerboard Cave sooner rather than later. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nilsson does have the mirror? Oh, he does not have the mirror. What was the mirror?
He did not do Back of Escape.
Ah, okay. He hasn't been to Back of Escape yet. So I guess that means Yuta's ahead if he's Back of Escape ahead of Nilsson here. I guess that chicken clip costs a lot more time than I thought. Nilsson following those flippers after Ice Rod Cave. He'll go down and do some flipper-related things. Standard play here is to swim up to Hobo, check the island on the way, and then go to Zora. This looks like what he's doing. Yuta's going to do the same thing, although he's putting his flute to use now to make up for not having done it earlier. Does save a little bit of time versus swimming from Ice Rod Cave. And Yuta's actually gonna skip out on the Hobo check, going straight to the Zora area.
Camper has the Moon Pearl.
Well, so much for my theory. It's just Hobo. So this is actually big news because it does look like Yuta is trying to avoid the Hobo check.
Uh-oh. Got the magic powder out of the waterfall cave.
Now Yuta may be intending to go to Hobo just at a later time. But like I was saying, it's more typical to do Hobo before heading to the Zora area here.
Nilsson finishing up his flipper checks.
Yuta pays his rupees and gets a piece of heart. Yay! Thanks, Zora. Yuta does save and quit out from the Zora area. Are we going to Hobo now, maybe? Doesn't look like
his flute.
Yeah.
That.
It's not a crazy play. Like, Hobo, like, if you look at Hobo in a vacuum, it's a very slow single check.
Yes.
Like, even with flippers, like, there's no super awesome way to route it in unless you're doing it on the way to Pyramid from Hype Cave, which, he already has the mirror and the mitts, so he's like, oh, I'll just get the moon pearl, and then later I'll be able to just mirror over to Hobo.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not going to work out in his favor, because you do need the moon pearl to do stuff like that. Looks like Yuta has opted to go after Death Mountain here. This is a lot of checks and logic with that hook shot. But without the Moon Pearl, he's going to have to make another trip later for the Dark Death Mountain version.
Nilsson save and quit to his house, but changed his mind and redid the save quit to the Sanctuary this time.
Yeah, this is back of escape, 100%.
Which is good news for him.
I imagine we'll also see Dark Cross.
True, he has the lamp, makes it...
Yeah, and both of them already did front of escape, so they know, like, Dark Cross has to be an item.
Nothing but rupees inside Spectacle Rock.
Well, he thought about saving quitting, but then, oh yeah, I know, Dark Cross is definitely an item. Let's do that. Another location, just like Hobo, you'll see players often try to avoid doing it, just because it's slower for a single check. But when you know it's an item, it does make sense to get this out of the way.
Oh, eudaimonistic diving into a pendant Tower of Hera.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised he went up the mountain first instead of hookshotting across, because he can't actually kill Moldorm. Like, he needed a sword or a hammer for that. Oh my god, Nilsson finds the fire rod. Okay, so eudaimonistic, he hasn't really done anything wrong. Like, everything he's done makes sense. It's fine. These are typical plays. But he is getting randoed so hard right now.
Yes. Tries
to skip Hobo, it's the Moon Pearl. Tries to skip Dark Cross, it's the Fire Rod. But like I was saying, I'm not sure why he's choosing to go into Hera first here. Like, it's a pendant, he can't finish it. And it's also less dense than East Death Mountain.
Yeah. Nilsson's going up the mountain now, getting his old man. There we go.
And of course, that doesn't mean there can't be progression here. Like, this can still totally pay off.
Oh, of course. Pendant dungeons are obnoxious that way. You try to avoid them, and there's your progression.
So Nilsson, just like Yuta before him, does not have sword or hammer, so Moldorm is completely unkillable. Nilsson making the more normal play, I would say, going to East Death Mountain first here. Although it's even more dense for Nilsson because he does have the Moon Pearl.
Right.
And then, because he also has the mirror, after Dark Death Mountain, he can just walk over and mirror in front of Hera. Although I guess Yuta could have done that without a Moon Pearl.
Yuta checking his options.
I take it he did not find both items?
I saw him find one item, which was a heart container, but I didn't see two.
Yeah, maybe Yuta didn't realize he couldn't kill Moldorm. Like, he just didn't think about it until right before the fight. That would make a lot more sense with his play. Like, if you thought you could kill Moldorm, then going up to Hera first makes more sense.
Lots of red in Paradox Cave.
So Yuta enters the Dark World first, presumably under the assumption that he's gonna find the Moon Pearl. But he's going into Super Bunny. Did he already do Light Death Mountain? And I'm just crazy?
No, but he did not do the east side. He's probably going to do the Super Bunny checks and then mirror to do the Paradox Cave.
Yeah, usually you mirror in front of Paradox when you do that, though. Looks like Yuta is unaware that he can actually use the mirror while he's a bunny. He could have used that mirror to get through Super Bunny a lot faster than he is. Looks like Nilsson's going to show us that. But this does work even when you're a bunny. Mirror is one of the very few things you can actually use while you're a bunny. But Yuta sets up what's known as the Super Bunny glitch, for which the Super Bunny Cave is named in order to open those chests. Falling down a hole as a bunny puts you in a very particular state called the Super Bunny state that gives you certain properties of normal Link, such as opening chests. Unable to pick up that rock for Hookshot Cave, though.
TR has the Ether Medallion as its lock, and we get a check. Pendant TR, 5/6 crystal on Pod. I didn't catch the rest.
Skullets. And then the green pendant at Ice Palace. Nilsson mirrors over to check the floating island. It is just a shield. He won't worry too much about that. So the downside here to Nilsson's route is Spiral Cave. If he wants to get Hera out of the way, then he has to walk all the way across the mountain and mirror in front of Hera. And then following Hera to do Spiral Cave, he has to walk all the way back to do Spiral Cave. So it's not too uncommon in this particular situation to just do one of those things.
Blue Mail and Bombos inside Hookshot Cave, along with some hearts.
Bombo's definitely a nice find. So Nilsson is walking across. He will be checking out Tower of Hera. Just quick look at the Spectral Rock, just a bottle. Nice Paradox Cave on the mini Mildorm kills for Yuta. Very efficient, getting the bomb out to the switch first, and then spending the bomb explosion time killing the mini Mildorms. But unfortunately, did not find the Moon Pearl up here. Where are you going to go now? Well, he was going to go to Spiral Cave, but decided not to. Alright, so Yuta leaves the mountain. Mystery item unavailable in Tower of Hera. He was unable to do Hookshot Cave, so he's missing out on Bombos, and we have no idea what's in Spiral Cave, which right. Nilsson could also skip if he chose to. Alright, Yuta opting to follow his Mitz Flute Mirror. I really like this play. I think this is, like I said before, this was the most likely place I thought the Moon Pearl would end up being. So it definitely makes a lot of sense for Yuta to come here. Unfortunately, we know where the Moon Pearl is, and it's not going to be in Desert Palace. Oh, interesting. Nilsson, when he gets to the Hard Hat Beetle room, says, I don't really want to deal with this without a hammer.
Right.
And just nopes out. So actually saving a bit of time there over Yuta, who did go up and didn't find anything.
Also noped out of Spiral Cave.
We're skipping Spiral Cave. I really don't blame him. Like, it was a long way away. Like, you have to walk like 3 screens just to get to Spiral Cave, and then Spiral Cave itself is like 300,000 hours of walking, approximately.
So Nilsson checked. There is a mushroom on the desert ledge, and Bombos is the lock for Meyer.
All right, this is impactful. Bombos was in Hookshot Cave, which Yuta was unable to do without that Moon Pearl. So if Yuta finds his Moon Pearl now, going back up to the mountain just for Hookshot Cave looks a lot less valuable since he already did Super Bunny and East Death Mountain.
Right.
He may end up putting off that Bombos medallion for quite some time. Did Yuta do Spiral Cave and I'm crazy?
I didn't see it.
He might have done it and I just missed it. It's possible. Chat's saying Yuta did do it. Okay, never mind, you guys. I'm wrong. It happens. Sorry. I thought I remembered seeing him enter Paradox from the top. So this is a pretty uncommon situation for Randomizer. Eudaimonistic gonna go after Lammo here, but the only weapon he has that actually hurts Lammo is the bow. The bow is the weapon of choice for fighting Lammo in NMG, but in Randomizer, it's actually pretty rare. Like, typically you have the fire rod as your fire source, or you just have like a nice sword or silver arrows or something. Okay, yeah, he could use bombs too, I guess.
Yuta using the bow to take out some of the small fry in the desert palace.
Yeah,
Could be using the hook shot instead, though, right?
Yeah, and saving those arrows. He will get, there is a pot here with 5 more arrows, so he's going to have 24 if he picks this pot up. Which is enough to kill the Lammos. I believe it's 4 arrows per Lammo, so you only need 12. But not missing shots is difficult. Yeah, like, it is a very difficult task to kill Lammo with only the bow. I'm not worried about him dying or anything. Like, it's not like Lammo does tons of damage, but wasting arrows is hard to avoid. There's cycle 2.
1 down. Uh-oh.
Cycle 3. We're already down to 13 arrows. I think we're on cycle 5.
Okay,
right,
one more snake
6 arrows. 6 arrows, 1 Lammo. We can do it. I lost count of the cycles.
Okay.
I think it was like 8 or 9 cycles. We get it done though. 2 arrows to spare.
And that's Yuta's second crystal.
So while it may not have been like the fastest Lammo fight, it was infinitely faster than running out of arrows. So good job, eudaimonistic. Nilsson saving some arrows here using the hookshot like you mentioned before. So he'll have maximum number of arrows when he gets to the fight. Although it's not important for Nilsson because he actually has the fire rod, which is a much more effective weapon. So just for comparison's sake, between like a good bow Lammo and a bad bow Lammo, with enough skill and good RNG on the Lammos, it is possible to get as low as a 2 cycle, where you kill them all in 2 cycles. I think 1 cycle is possible, but not really. Like a good Lammo fight is like 3 or 4 cycles, and anything more than that is usually like reset territory for the best NMG runners. Very fast Lammo fight from Nilsson. That fire rod, you can see the difference. 2 cycles. Things are just not going Yuta's way today.
Yeah, he needs to get back to the camper. And 36 minutes in, we have not found a single sword. Okay, Yuta's going to the back to Dark Cross to get his fire rod.
Yeah, this is 100% a fire rod play. I think he's nearly out of options. And it's good. It's really good that he's going to the fire rod first instead of the moon pearl, because the moon pearl would give him access to everything, and the fire rod gives him access to nothing.
Right.
So he'll be forced to find the moon pearl. Where if he found the moon pearl first, he may skip the fire rod for even longer.
Nilsson turning in that mushroom.
Yeah, sometimes you see players hold on to it for a while, hoping to fake powder at some point, but Nilsson has both the powder and the mushroom, so no reason not to do this right now.
Yuda gets his fire rod, and mushroom only gives a piece of heart.
Well, we've exhausted all of the nice things to do, so Nilsson unfortunately is forced to go into the Village of Outcast area without the hammer. He did put a fair attempt at trying to put this off until he could get a hammer, but the game says no choice.
Yuda took a while on that flute screen, but finally decides. Looks like he's going to the camper to get his moon pearl.
Yeah, he might. I think he just forgot about it for a second, but did remember quite quickly. I've definitely sat on that screen for way too long, trying to remember what did I skip. So Nilsson actually going into front of Skull Woods here with the fire rod. This is not a comfortable place to be because while he does have the fire rod and can access most of the dungeon, without a sword he cannot do Mothula.
And Yuda gets his moon pearl.
Yeah, there's Dark World access for Yuda. He is a bit behind here, but not so much that he can't overcome it. The main concern right now for Yuda is that Bombos medallion. When does he go to Hookshot Cave and get that? He will need that to finish the seed. So what Nilsson would like to do here is go to the boss first, because in Skullwoods, the only thing we can be sure that you're gonna have to do is kill Mothula. So if Mothula has one of your items, it's really nice to do that first. But
Right.
No sword means he can't do that. So you're in this really awkward position where it's like, okay, am I gonna full clear Skullwoods except for the one thing I actually have to do, just hoping to find a good item? Yuda didn't want to... Yeah, nice shovel. So Yuda actually goes to the Village of Outcasts area in Thieves Town first, not wanting to be in the situation that Nilsson's currently in. Nilsson has found one item, and there is one more in the dungeon, but it could be a Mothula. Oh, nice hookshot clip through the spike there. That is very, very tight. I think it might be frame perfect. I'm not 100% sure.
Nilsson got the big key, but decides not to do the chest. He's just bailing out.
He got second item, I believe.
Oh, he did.
In the pinball chest.
Oh, I missed that.
I don't know exactly what it was. I have a hard time recognizing things that aren't progression. I'm not even kidding. Like, people, like, I check library and then somebody says, what was in library, Koi? And I'm like, I have no idea, dude. It wasn't progression. I couldn't tell you what it actually was, but it wasn't progression.
It immediately leaves your head. Yeah, I have the same problem. Nilsson doing graveyard checks while Yuda makes his way through Thieves Town. Finds the boots in Thieves Town.
It's a very nice find. Definitely going to find them quite a bit before Nilsson does. Nilsson instead doing a little more thorough routing here. But I really like that from Nilsson in this situation. I'm a big fan of being as thorough as you possibly can until you have the hammer. The hammer is just too important for routing. It always feels really bad to leave things behind when it could have been the hammer.
Yuda about to do his Smith chain. Mirror makes that way faster.
Yeah, Smith Chain definitely makes a lot of sense here with Mitts and Mirror. Unfortunately, no hammer, so hammer pegs will remain a mystery. He does have the option to do Magic Bat, though. And looks like he is taking that option. The bad thing about this is that without the hammer, you can't get back to this portal that he just left.
Right.
So it makes some uncomfortable routing where you have to go back to Village of Outcasts again just to get to the Dark World. It's a little concerning that we're like 42 minutes into the seed and we can't kill blind.
Right?
There's like 1,000 different items that all hurt blind, and we haven't found any of them. Yuda turning in the Smith now. Nilsson being thorough here. He's checking all 3 Village of Outcast checks before going into Thieves Town. This is specifically to increase the odds of finding the hammer. Oh my god, are you skipping Thieves Town? Don't skip Thieves Town.
Where are you going, Nilsson?
It looks like he might be... He can, like, go back to it.
Yes.
Like, he has the option to go back to it when he's, like, doing the Smith sequence or something, but it's just, you know, more time without finding those boots.
Yeah, and another thing too is that because he did Graveyard Ledge without the boots, eudaimonistic can route in both of the bonk checks over there.
Yeah, Yuda going to Thieves Town first, definitely paying off here. Although he's going back down.
He's going.
Still not wanting
looks like
to
he's
go
going to do the
to
south checks again.
Yeah. I mean, we still have like Hive Cave, Stumpy, Cave 45.
Yeah.
He hasn't done Dig Game yet.
Okay, Nilsson, where do you go now? Okay, he's going back up.
Yeah, he'll do Smith sequence here. Hopefully he does go into Thieves Town. I definitely understand not wanting to full clear Thieves Town because, like, first of all, we can't. Like, we can't even kill blind. But, you know, also no hammer means you can't get the big chest. But the first 4 of Thieves Town is very quick. It's very high chance of having items. And we have the mirror, so we can, like, get out really fast. Mirroring over to K45 is eudaimonistic, where he finds not much. So big concern right now, I think, is going to be Palace of Darkness. With the flippers, we do have logical access to East Dark World, which means Pod could absolutely be the intended place for us to go next. But it is a very uncomfortable place to be. It's a crystal, like, you want to single dip it if you possibly can, but no hammer means no boss. Looks like Nilsson has decided to opt out of not going into Thieves Town at all. This is quite unfortunate for him. Like, even if the boots didn't lock anything, they're really nice to have in general, making everything just a little bit faster. But Yuda, who has been a bit behind this race, you know, this is a really nice advantage for him. It's definitely going to be a difference maker moving forward.
Definitely. The longer he has the boots while Nilsson doesn't, the faster he can get all these checks done that Nilsson's doing the slow way. Hype Cave has Ice Rod.
Ice Rod. For our pendant Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a rando seed if we didn't have an easily accessible Ice Rod and a pendant Turtle Rock. So Yuda not wanting to continue on to East Dark World through the flippers, instead going to go back to Village of Outcasts. Looks like he's going to go after the north route now.
Yeah.
Probably hop into Skullwoods, see what he can see, and then head over to the Booch Checks and Graveyard Ledge.
Purple chest was just 5 rupees.
Yeah, good point from chat there. Swamp is available. Like both Nilsson and Yuta have the mirror and the flippers, which is all you need to walk into Swamp. But without the hammer, we can only do 2 chests, one of which will always be a small key. But that doesn't mean it can't be the hammer!
Quake was on the bumper ledge, but Yuta decides not to get it for now. It's not necessary for the dungeons anyway.
Yeah, they both already checked both medallion requirements for the seed. Quake will not be needed. It is worth noting, though, Yuta did not go into Skull Woods, which had no progression. So definitely some time to make up there for Yuta.
Looks like Nilsson's going to use the flippers to get to the east side.
Yeah, early bow and lamp is pretty telling, although less so now in V31 because there's multiple bows. But typically, you know, early bow and lamp means something's in pod. So Yuta did not do bonk rocks on his way over here, I don't think. Hopefully he didn't, like, forget about them.
Right. Hopefully just on the way back.
Well, given his routing thus far, like, I would expect him to go over to Catfish following King's Tomb.
True, true.
Which would mean, like, bonk rocks is in the other direction. King's Tomb not paying off. Yeah, Yuta headed over to Catfish here, while Nilsson goes right into Palace of Darkness, following that bow.
Oh, it was bow locked.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a nice feeling to go to pod specifically because you have the bow, and then immediately find out, hey, everything in here is locked behind that bow. Oh, Yuta finding our first sword at 49 minutes and 57 seconds.
On Catfish. Ay, ay, ay.
Immediately uses it for spin speed and accidentally hops off a ledge. Kind of a blessing and a curse. So it's really hard to say like who's really ahead or behind in this situation. Both players have picked up items and locations that the other one may put off for a long time. Like that sword could absolutely end up being required, and Nilsson could absolutely avoid it for forever.
Right.
And then Yuta not getting the bombos, which we know is required at a hookshot cave, and who knows when he's going back up there. Nice spin speed there from Yuta to make this pyramid check a bit faster. Just 10 arrows. And of course, the boots are just looming over Nilsson's head right now.
Yeah.
Every second that he doesn't have the boots is just widening the difference. He will get them eventually. It's not like he's going to avoid Thieves' Town for forever.
Of course.
So this is the point where I like to start thinking, so when I don't find anything in pod, what do I do next? Like if I was the runner. And I think for Nilsson's situation here, my main options are go to Thieves' Town, which I decided to try to skip, or dip into Hammerless Ice Palace. Hammerless Pendant Ice Palace. Hammerless Pendant Ice Palace with no sword. Thieves Town looks pretty good, I think. And then, yeah, with Cane of Burn too, Thieves Town's going to look really good after this. Hopefully he just finds progression here, and that ends up not being an option, or not being a concern. Burn, of course, does not do anything for us at all. It will be logical access to something like, or it can be logical access to like Spike Cave, but we already have the cape, and we don't have the hammer still anyway, so not helpful.
All right, Nilsson has 3 checks left in pod for this to pay off.
Well, if there is something in pod, it's usually in the Dark Maze, so we have good chances here. Check 1, just some arrows. Check 2, the compass. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Nervousness intensifies. Check 3!
Oh!
Pod, not the answer. All we got was a Cane of Burna for our trouble. Nilsson has to leave and go somewhere else. I thought he might go over to Pyramid Catfish following that, but it looks like he's decided to do something else. I'm thinking Thieves Town, right? Like, Thieves Town looks pretty good.
Yeah, at this point, I mean...
Yeah, Nilsson agrees. Going straight back to Village of Outcasts.
Which is unfortunate. If he had gone to Catfish, he could have gone the sword so he could kill Blind, but as it is, he can't go clear Thieves Town yet.
Well, he can kill Blind with the Cane of Burna.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's not like... It's pretty uncommon where, like, the Cane of Burna is your only logical access to kill Blind. And it's not in this case because the sword is available. He just doesn't know it. But it's definitely a pretty effective weapon for Blind. The unfortunate thing here is that Nilsson specifically didn't do Thieves Town the first time because he didn't have a way to full clear it. And now he's back, and he still can't full clear it.
Right, because of that hammer-locked chest if it has an item.
Now, it is possible that the hammerlock chest is just map, compass, or small key, so he's not necessarily going to have to leave something behind, but it is a risk he's taking. Yuta going for the hammer jump here. He doesn't really need to do this because he does have the mirror. Typically, you do this to avoid a death warp. But it is like a cool way to do it if you can manage it. He seems to be trying to do it unbuffered, which is very hard. But it is a very fast way of doing it if you can pull it off. Nilsson finally getting his boots out of the front of Thieves Town. And Yuta's advantage will be diminished from here on out. I think it's important to note that while it is really unfortunate that Nilsson went to pod and didn't get anything there, and he might feel behind because of it. He's not really though, because Yuta is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So any time loss because of this is actually even between them. But the runners don't know what each other is doing. Like as far as Nilsson knows, Yuta already found the hammer and is killing Trinex or something.
Right.
So we definitely might see these choices, even though they actually didn't make them behind, make them feel enough behind that they make different choices because of that. If you feel behind enough, you start doing crazy things. Like that really fun Ice Palace tip we were talking about.
All right, so where does Yuta go now?
Looks like he's also going to go back to Thieves Town. And he can also go and kill Mothula as well now as well. Yuta hasn't been in Skulls at all, so there's still 2 mystery items for him. as well as that red crystal.
Yeah, so he's going to Skull Woods. While Nilsson continues making his way through Thieves Town.
Yeah, common play here is to go straight to Mothula. Like I was saying before, that's the one part of this dungeon that you have to do. But, Yuda's not necessarily, like, super comfortable with a fighter sword, regular magic fire rod fight, so it looks like he's being a little more thorough checking chests on the way, hoping to get 2 items before Mothula. And Nilsson makes his way to Blind. Didn't find any progression in here so far.
Right.
Blind might have something. I'm not sure about the big chest. Like, did we find map and compass?
I'm not positive.
I wonder if anyone in chat maybe was paying enough attention. Alright, so we only found the map, not the compass. So as long as Blind doesn't drop that compass...
Woo!
Oh, just barely having enough magic, running out right at the end there.
Oh.
And it's the compass. There is an item in the big chest, and we can't get it. Oh my god, is it really Ice Palace? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cause this to happen. Nilsson does have some other options before doing that. He hasn't seen the pyramid. He hasn't seen catfish. He hasn't seen the boots checks. We did see Magic Bat earlier. It was nothing. Unfortunately, these checks that Nilsson's doing now, we know aren't leading to anything. Except for Block Rocks, which we haven't seen. That's right, Yuda skipped this. Never mind, it's nothing. Darn it!
Well, Nilsson should be going to Catfish on this route, so he'll get his fighter sword finally.
Yuda powdering that bunny beam under the pot to heal up a bit. He knows he's about to fight Mothula, and it's not an easy fight. Although he does have plenty of hearts to work with, though, so he can get through with like a really sloppy fight and still be okay. I believe he also has like a blue potion or something. If he really gets into trouble.
Yeah, he has a bottle of blue potion from the fairy, yes. This is a place where half magic would have been really nice for Yuda.
Oh, he only had 2 fire rod shots, and he needed both of them to light these torches there. And the Gibdo was acting like he was going to make it hard, but he ends up getting out of the way. Yuda powdering another bunny beam to get that health refill, and here goes Mothula. Meanwhile, Nilsson does find his sword on Catfish, which unlocks, I guess, Mire. Mire is an option. Yuda not at all interested in doing fighter swords fights here, immediately drinking his potion. So he won't have the potion for a health refill, but again, he has tons of hearts. He should be able to just damage boost through every single spike and still be okay. You just gotta make sure that these fire rod shots count.
Right.
Oh, he's missed quite a few so far.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll have to finish it off with
Okay.
Nice! Just one spin away there. he gets it done. Nilsson giving us a little hook speed action on Pyramid, but it's just arrows. And we're mirroring to the front of Escape? No, we're floating away. Okay, that makes more sense. We already did that! What are you doing? This is Meyer. We're going Meyer. Let's do it.
Without the King of Samaria, that's scary.
Yeah, as far as double dips go, Meyer's really not that bad. Like it's just a couple rooms that you have to do extra on your trip back. But it's definitely not like at the top of places you want to be at any point in a seed, right? Meyer without the cane. It is important to note, though, this is something that the thing that Nilsson's doing now, going into Meyer, is something that Yuda cannot do. He does not have that Bombos medallion from Hookshot.
Right.
So following this Thieves Town trip, where Yuda's not going to find progression, but you will get his crystal, he's going to be put in this situation where it's like, okay, well, do I go up to Hookshot Cave, or am I going into Ice Palace? So this may be our very first real divergence between the runners.
Ooh, Yuda gets through the hallway of Thieves Town very nicely.
Yeah, we call that the God Pixel. It's a one horizontal pixel position where you're able to dash all the way through the hellway. And even if you get the pixel, you're still at the mercy of the RNG of those Patrick stars. If one's just right up in the middle of the room, you still get bumped out of the dash. Well, there's our first item in Misery Mire, just 5 rupees. Nilsson opting to go back out for the lobby first here. Typically, you see players do the torches rooms first, but it really doesn't matter that much. I mean, as long as you don't get hit by Medusa statues over and over again. Nilsson's taken a bit of a beating already in this dungeon. I'm not too worried about him because unless he finds the cane here, he doesn't have to worry about fighting the boss or anything.
Right.
And we always have the powder to quickly heal up. He finds the big key.
But so he's still going to do cutscene chests first.
Yeah, so every check Nilsson does after finding the big key is something he knows he might have been able to skip if he got to do this dungeon in go mode instead of looking for items. Nilsson putting the the block mechanics to use here. While a block is in motion, it doesn't actually exist, and you can just fire out right through it. Mostly almost perfect script there from Eudaimonistic. He takes down Blind, gets his compass, and gets the bad news that there is an item in that big chest. Just a small key in the cutscene chest. Nilsson has to keep clearing.
Yep, got 2 more checks left, and then it's Vitreous is locked behind Samaria, so yeah.
I think Yuda's going after purple chest. I guess he skipped it before.
Yeah, that's just 5 rupees, so he's not going to be happy about that.
I thought he did it before. He could have done it before. He had the flute. Alright, big chest of Meyer. Just a map. We got 1 chest left. Is it the second item? Is it progression? Is it? Is it? A compass.
Oh. So Vitreous has the last item of Mire.
Yes, he does. So this was ended up being a not productive dip there for Nilsson. But what do we do now? Is it time?
Ice Palace?
Is it time? We got a sword now, at least. That's slightly better, right? The only other thing I can think of that we haven't seen is that chest and swamp.
Right.
Which is not fun. For when it comes to like a single item location, getting like just the walk to swamp, not even counting the time it takes to actually open swamp and go through the dungeon, but just the walk to swamp from Village of Outcasts is very, very long for just one item.
Both runners going into Ice Palace at the same time.
Yeah, so this is, I think... Well, oh, no, you just changed his mind.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I'm not sure what he's going to do here, though. We already did everything. Didn't he already do this? Oh, no, he didn't have the Moon Pearl, so he skipped out on Mire Shed.
Nilsson finds the red mail.
It's not bad. It's like, yay, red mail. Where's the hammer? Alright, now Yuta. Man, this is very unfortunate for Yuta that he's choosing to come back up here.
Yeah, because that's going to lead him into Mire.
Yeah, I mean, it's good, right? Like, he needs this medallion. He can't finish the seed without it. But, like, if this makes him go into Mire, then the advantage he had over Nilsson, that Mire dip, is going to be lost.
Yeah.
Nilsson, unfortunately, makes a small mistake there on his Stalfos Snipe quick kill. Does get it done, though. Oh yeah, Hera's another option. We have a weapon now.
Oh, this is true, yes.
Did forget about that. So we might see Hera as well, which could be a... Like, if Yuta stays up here, does Hera, and finds the hammer in Hera, I'd say he's unequivocally ahead of Nilsson.
Nilsson having trouble with the Ice Palace bomb jump. There we go.
Sexy little bomb kill here for Nilsson and the Penguin lineup. But that was always one of my favorite techs in the game. And there's so few places, or so few times that it actually gets seen. Cane of Samaria and Pendant Ice Palace. Oh my goodness.
Oh no! Oh, that can't feel good. Yeah,
Nilsson's,
he's bailing.
Yeah, he's got more stuff in there, but that's good enough, you know. Cane of Samaria is pretty good. So, I guess it doesn't actually open anything, though, does it?
It opens up Vitreous.
Yeah, but didn't we find both items?
No, Vitreous has an item.
Oh, no, right. We had an item on Vitreous. That's right. So Yuta, unfortunately, did not stay on the mountain, will not be seeing Hera, and is following that medallion into Mire. So this is exactly the same play that Nilsson had made.
He was so close, too. He was going to Ice Pass, would have gone Samaria, which would have allowed him to foe clear Mire one shot, but instead he did the hookshot cave, and now he's doing a double dip.
Yeah, it's the same double dip that Nilsson did.
Yes. I mean,
so
it equalizes them. But
yeah, it's not a time loss per se because like they both did the same thing, but it is a opportunity lost at a time save. Nilsson putting his brand new Cane of Samaria to use there, trying to get through that room a bit quicker. There are some really cool strats for Samaria in that room. I have not learned them though. But I believe you can one-cycle it with Cain. You might need Cain and beams. Yeah, Nilsson left after doing just the Compass Room chest and the Freezor chest. He did not find the big key in those two chests. And he had done the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Right. He did find 2 items, though, so there's only 1 left in Ice Palace.
Yeah. So with having done the bomb jump and not having found a small key or the big key, he was forced... Like, if he wanted to continue, he'd have to go, like, the really, really long way to get to Ice Tea, and then go up to the Hammerlock side for this one chest, hoping to find that the second item. But the second item might just be Hammerlocked. I would have thought maybe he'd want to stay because the Cane of Samaria really doesn't do that much. It's just this one check here in Mire. Once you've been somewhere like Pendant Ice Palace, it's really hard to make the decision to go back. Because it feels like you're committing to a time loss once you decide to go back. So if Nilsson doesn't find what he's looking for here on Vitreous, we may see him do something else, like go up to Hera. So this is a really awkward fight with just a fighter sword. You cannot slash, dash, or poke these enemies with the fighter sword. Spins are the only thing that'll actually hit them, and it's a lot of spins. I think 5 spins to kill a single eye. With the cape, he could, like, you turn the cape on and stand in the middle of them and spin all of them at once, which would be a really fast way to do it. But it is very magic intensive. I'm not sure what Nilsson has in his bottles. I think we saw him pick up a fairy.
Yeah, he did just pick up a fairy.
If he has a magic refill or anything. Bombs and arrows are also very nice items in this fight. Bombs, while they don't do a lot of damage, do hit a lot of eyes at once. And arrows are just strong. I think it's 3 arrows to kill an eye. Oh, gotta be real careful not to walk into these guys, though. Switching to bombs now.
He only had 1.
For his 1 bomb, yeah. Oh, down to his last heart. He does have that fairy, though.
Yeah, he has a fairy.
Yep, there he goes. Gonna take a death here, but the fairy will save his life. Like, this is all fine as long as he doesn't die.
Okay. 1 left. Okay.
Alright, and then saved enough arrows for the big guy. Easy peasy. Goodbye, Vitreous. But did you have progression?
Oh!
We did have progression! Hammer locked behind the Cane of Samaria in Pendant Ice Palace. Nilsson with the rout. Alright, this is a massive pickup for NilssonAlex here. Alright, with this hammer, we'll be able to finish both Palace of Darkness and Swamp Palace. He can already kill Vitreous. And that is, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's 7 crystals we have access to. So that's go mode, right, Ricky?
Yeah.
Surely, if you can get 7 crystals, you must be in go mode. Wait, are we forgetting something? Let's go through the check. What do you need to kill Ganon? You need 7 crystals. We got that.
Master Sword.
You need the Master Sword. But we only have a fighter sword, Ricky.
Yeah.
That's not good.
But surely they'll find the Master Sword Somewhere along the
Surely.
Swamp Palace. It has to be Swamp Palace.
Surely we'll find a fighter sword. But how far out of your way do you go looking for the sword when you know that there's 3 swords in the seed?
What
like, it's
other
very
checks
likely
do they
one's going to be on the way.
have at this point other than the dungeons and GT?
Yeah, literally all of Ganon's Tower. So the common play in this situation is to open only chests that are directly on the way and just hope to find a sword on your way to Aga 2.
Right.
But, you know, not everybody subscribes to that. Sometimes you see players play really thoroughly, making sure that they're not going to be skipping a sword on their way to GT. And sometimes it doesn't matter. Maybe there just isn't a sword anywhere, and you have to do something like go into Pendant Turtle Rock or go kill Moldorm. But I can say at this point in time, given the information that we have, Nilsson is in the lead. Yuda is a Skullwood, so Mothula kill ahead of Nilsson, but Nilsson has already killed Vitrius, which Yuda hasn't done yet, and also finished this Ice Spell Sip, which Yuda is in the process of completing.
That was a terrible place for the hammer. I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. A forced hammerless Ice Palace Tip. But, you know, sometimes that's the way it goes. So, like, best case scenario here for Yuda is that he goes out of his way and finds a sword, and Nilsson doesn't. So, maybe deeper in Ice Palace, like if Yuda stays after finding the cane and ends up finding a sword, and then there's not one on the way, that could be the difference maker. He's having a bit of trouble with this bomb jump, though.
Yeah.
This is his last bomb.
There we go.
He gets it. Oh, it wasn't. He had one more bomb after that. The thing is, like, he doesn't really need to do the bomb jump. It's a just in case move that you find the hammer here, and it's also Samaria locked. Nilsson going for the hammers here on Helmasaur King. I think it's a very tight window for this upswing. You can make it a little better by holding your sword out, but damage boosting also works.
Alright, let's see what Yuda does. Gets Samaria. Not happy.
Are we leaving? No, he's staying. Alright, so this is a big move from Yuda. It's either going to result in him finding a sword and thus taking an advantage over Nilsson, or it's just more time that he's spending doing something that Nilsson got to skip. Nilsson going after Skullwoods here. No items to be found. We already found both items from this dungeon, so it's just a boss kill real quick. There are plenty of places that could have swords that Nilsson will not be doing on his way to GT. Things like Turtle Rock, the third item in Ice Palace, the Green Pendant, Pyramid Fairy, that last item in Hera, all of these things, Spike Cave, all of these things are not on the way. He will not do them before full clearing GT. And it's definitely enough locations that all 3 swords could be hidden among them. Yuda making his way up to the spike chest. This will be the last chest he can get, unless he finds the big key, which is really, really gross. What was in Ice Tea? Do we see that?
I missed the Ice Tea chest.
Just a small key there. He's going to try to go on, but he'll find out real quick that he can't without the hammer. Oh yeah, the hammer. Oh, it was the big key. Oh, so he does have access to the big chest. Yeah, Yuda not dismayed. He's gonna make sure that he got everything there is to get in this dungeon. Luckily, the small key in the spike chest is very important here, so he doesn't have to mirror out or anything.
Nilsson taking on Mothula. Oh,
Just another small key in the big chest. So that's all Yuda can actually do in this dungeon. Although he
Yuda, you're doing a Ricky
Okakiri
move here. Okay, good.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. He's like, oh yeah, hammer. That's right. Nilsson with the hammer finish on Mothula there, picking up his 6th crystal. Counting as far.
Alright, so that means that all Nilsson has left is Swamp Palace. And a level 2 sword somewhere in Swamp Palace, hopefully, for him.
So it's mostly a meme, but there is a little bit of truth to it. You'll often hear people say the phrase, always a sword in swamp. It is statistically likely for there to be a sword in swamp. You see it often. And then I think when we got the 50,000 seeds statistics or whatever, we found, like empirical evidence. Oh yeah, there is like very often a sword in swamp. This does happen. We're not crazy. So I think when you're looking for a sword, it does make sense to be a little more thorough in swamp, but I don't think we're gonna see left side. We'll either see just the back or the back and the chest in the front, but no left side. Of course, that doesn't mean he can't do it. He can choose to do left side.
Right.
And there can be a sword there, or two, for that matter.
Alright, Yuda is making his way to do his fighter sword Vitreous while Nilsson enters Swamp Palace.
Yeah, Yuda down to only a single bomb here. It's not going to get much use out of that on the Vitreous fight. He does have a full complement of arrows, though, so we'll probably see a bunch of arrow shots. And while he doesn't have half magic like Nilsson does, he does have a blue potion, so maybe some cape spins as well. Getting some spooky action there.
First chest of Swamp Palace have the big key.
Yeah. Location for a location. Alright, starting with the arrows here, he will want to save at least 8 arrows for the final phase of the fight. Every option he has that isn't 8 arrows is incredibly slow for phase 2. Oh, he's spinning an extra arrow! No, stop spinning your arrows! Please stop! Oh, Yuda. Oh, no.
Yeah, this is gonna be slow.
Yeah, I mean, he got through the first phase really fast, right? Like, the arrows were very effective getting him to phase 2, but now what? Are we doing 24 spins? I think it's 24. 24 sounds right. He tries to fire on it, doesn't work. Tries to slash, doesn't work. You have to spin. The only thing he has that'll hurt Vitreous is the spin. Nilsson finding the Ether Medallion. That could be important if there is a sword locked in Turtle Rock. We do need the Ether for that.
Ew, that's gross.
36 spins, according to that. 36 fighter sword spins for him to finish this.
Oh, no.
And unfortunately, there's no way to make this faster. Like, he really needed to save those arrows. Arrows just didn't quite think about it in time.
Nilsson going straight to the back of Swamp Palace, not doing left side first.
Yeah, not at all surprising. Yuda drinks the potion for the health refill. The magic, of course, not going to be super helpful here. You cannot spin with the Cane of Burnout out. He could spin with the cape out, it's just not helpful, because like you're still restricted by how long it takes to spin. Nilsson checking the flooded room, where he finds a bottle. It's nice, and a compass. So guaranteed there will be something at least locked on the left side.
And Yuda takes care of Vitreous, gets his hammer.
Very, very long fight, but as we were saying earlier, killing a boss, no matter how long it takes you to do it, is always faster than dying or having to come back. So good on eudaimonistic for pushing that one out. The perseverance is real.
Left side swamp has 2 items.
Yeah, he could choose to go back. I just really doubt it.
Oh. Oh, we're doing this strat. Hammer hookshot strats here.
Yeah, the only things he has right now that'll hurt these pups is either a spin from his fighter sword or the hammer. And it was 2 spins with the fighter sword, but the way the pups kind of hang around you after you hookshot them lets you get a double spin in with a single charge. So the fastest way to do this fight with this equipment set would be to pull 2 pups at once and then do a single spin that hits both of them twice. But that is quite tricky to do. The hammer, while not the fastest option, is definitely an effective one. So you see that the double spin in action here. What he should be doing for the double spins though is charging his sword with it pointed at Argus, and then after hookshotting a puff, let go of B, and you'll automatically do that spin.
Right.
Rather than charging the sword after pulling it. Yeah, we have seen hide nor tail, nor blade or hilt of any sword in this game except for the one they both have from Catfish. There are definitely 3 more somewhere, but who knows? You know, a little shy on arrows there, having to pick up those pots so that he can actually kill this mimic. Nilsson takes down Argus phase 2 with 4 fire rod shots. Gets 20 rupees for the trouble. He switches to the flute there, which tells me he's not going back in for left side, but he needs to switch to mirror if he wants to flute. But, you know, sword or not, that is 7 crystals, you guys. We are going to Ganon's Tower as soon as we do Pyramid Fairy. Are you really doing Pyramid Fairy? Oh, okay, well this could be big. It might be Pyramid Fairy. Definitely a possibility. You guys can go ahead and start guessing. There's 22 locations in Ganon's Tower, one of which will be the big key that Nilsson needs. Did we start the game? I didn't.
Yeah, it's going in chat right now.
Okay, cool. Thanks to whoever did that. So it looks like Nilsson was just a little dismayed that he didn't end up finding a sword in the swamp. And while he's not willing to do left side for 2 items, doing pyramid for 2 items seems more palatable, I guess. I don't know. I'm of the mind that if you're skipping left side swamp, you probably shouldn't do this either. But
right.
You know, it could be a sword.
Yuda taking on Helmsar King.
Yeah, that's crystal number 6 there for Yuda.
Down.
We find 5 rupees in.
Oh,
oh my god! Oh, big play for Nilsson here.
All right.
And it's even blue potions from the fairy. Nice. He is super prepared for going up GT now. Okay, so this is actually huge. So if Yuda doesn't do this and there isn't a sword on the way, there's like no way he could catch up. And then if Yuda doesn't do it and there is sword on the way, then Nilsson probably also finds that sword and has tempered instead of master sword for Ganon. Like, I don't think there's any way to write this where Nilsson isn't completely ahead right now.
Right.
All right, Nilsson headed up Paradox Cave here. He's going to hit down some hammer pegs to enter the Dark World, and then we're right into Ganon's Tower for that big key hunt. Nilsson is unequivocally in Go mode. Go mode so named because all we have to do is go, go, go. Yuda about a dungeon behind here, but more than that, also a sword behind. Nilsson finding that Master Sword in Pyramid Fairy. Definitely a huge advantage. All right, this is your last chance to get your guesses in. 1 through 22, you guys. We're about to stop the game. Just a little late, guys. I'm sorry. The delay on the stream.
All right. Nilsson goes to Hope Room. 1 is a small key. 2 is a single arrow.
Looks like he's opting to take that small key onto Compass Room here, probably skipping Tower Room. We call this the hybrid route because it is a hybrid between the Hope route and Full Right. And the route you choose to do upon doing the Hope chest is dependent completely on whether or not you found a small key.
Number 3 is the map. Number 4 is 50 rupees. Number 5 is bombs. Number 6 is a piece of heart.
Nilsson continues on. Going to get this free small key here to replace the one he spent. If he continues on, we start calling it Full Right. Otherwise, this is the hybrid route after all. It is. Checking the torch now, just 20 rupees.
That's number 7. Number 8 is a small key. 9 is another small key. 10 is the big key. Number 10.
10 is the winning guess. Nilsson opens one more chest, hoping to find a tempered sword. No such luck, but he's got mastered. That's good enough. Let's go on to Ganon.
Congrats, Ravis 10.
Ravis 1.
Yes, Ravis 10 got the guess. Wilshire 1764 Sniper Genius also guessed correctly. They get bonus points as well. Congratulations. Enjoy your points.
Jeez, Ravis. Winning like every daily I've ever seen you in isn't enough. Now you gotta win the big key guessing game too. This guy, he doesn't know how to do anything but win. No, I'm embellishing, Ravis. I'm embellishing, don't worry. So Yuta going after the double pull here, but with the hammer. Nilsson makes his way past those initial rooms, and we are now in the section of Canyon Tower commonly referred to as the Gauntlet. Just 4 rooms of nothing but killing enemies. Execution plays a big part in these rooms. Pretty nice Stalfos room there.
Yes, very nice.
It's very clean. Ooh, nice arrow shot on that bottom Zazax. Although the third one was proving troublesome.
Udai takes down Argus, gets his 7th crystal. Now it's a question to see if he does Pyramid Fairy to get that sword.
You see that double shot with the arrow on the red Zazax? That was really cool. Also going after the bunny beam here. Unfortunately, spending too much time in this room causes the cycles for Lamo 2 to change. So we'll have a harder time getting a 1 cycle here. Yeah, only managing to kill 1 of the 3. Nice 3 cycle. Some of the more satisfying rooms in the game. Unfortunately, Nilsson making a small mistake there, placing his block a little too off mark. Gets the second room though, very clean. Alright, a little lighter on magic, opting for the lamp strats in this room. Quick magic refill, and we are up to the torches. Alright, now I do expect him to open all 4 of these chests up the gauntlet. Master Sword Silverless, while is enough to kill Ganon, not a very quick way to do so. So any extra chance to get a 3rd sword or the silvers will do the trick here.
Alright, all Nilsson has left is Moldorm 2, and then Aga 2.
Yeah, going after Master Sword spins here to save the menu. A lot of players will see switch to Hammer in this situation because it is a little easier to kill him. But Nilsson shows us how the Master Sword fight is done, and he already has that hookshot equipped. He gets a blue boomerang for his trouble. Alright, Aga 2. Everybody's favorite boss fight. Totally fair fight. Definitely no RNG involved. But Nilsson takes care of it real simple. I think that was a 3 cycle. Very clean. Or 4 cycles. It was 4 cycles. Still very clean. And now we have a Master Sword Silverless Ganon to end the race.
I think I'm introducing a new commentator's curse. This is the second race I've commentated for the league, and the second one with internet issues on one player's side. So, I'm hoping that's not a thing.
Probably not. Yeah, if Yuda lost his internet, it won't matter too much. Like, he was a fair shake behind Nelson here. But it is 24 spins. 24 spins to get through the first phase. Or, no, the first 2 phases. And then another 24 in the 4th phase. Nilsson taking advantage of Ganon's positioning there, getting double spins when he's that close to the wall. Definitely speeds things up. Should get another 4 here. Oh, accidentally swiping Ganon. Only gets 2. Another close to the wall position, easy double. And phase 2 begins. Putting that cape to work. With the cape, you can just stand here and spin indefinitely, and those fire bats can't say boo. Yeah, doubly nice positions here.
He's got only 3 hearts.
He does have those 2 blue potions, which we'll probably see one here used in a second. Warp Ganon. Good job. He was too far away. If Ganon didn't warp there, we were going to get the fire. Phase 3 is all about patience. Don't let go of B until you're sure you're actually going to hit Ganon. Nilsson doing a really good job of that. 3 hits in, 1 to go. Alright, and that'll mark the start of Phase 4. Silver Arrows and Turtle Rock.
Gross.
Nilsson taking no chances on that torch glitch. Spam the fire rod. That's one way to do it. He definitely has the magic to spare here. Even doing Master Sword Silverless, he's got plenty of magic. I believe his intention was to get it with the lamp, which the lamp is a lot less costly to spam and make sure you get the torch glitch. But he had some unfortunate positioning, and there was a fire bat blocking his path. So it looks like Nilsson would like to do triples here, but with the lamp, that's not really as feasible. There are positions where you can get triples with a lamp, but it's very, very tight. Oh, I just barely missed that triple there. But the idea here is to light the torch right as Ganon lands, and then quickly get in close to him and spin him as he's trying to leave. Getting pretty comfortable with this 2 hits per cycle. He keeps trying for the 3rd, but he's not timing the fire rod shot properly to get 3. Another 2 from this cycle here. And then he'll want to start thinking about drinking another potion. Or just switching to the lamp, that works too.
There we go!
Down goes Ganon.
Get your GGs in chat.
GG. And with that, Nilsson takes the win here over eudaimonistic. OP Get Good with a W over Yoshi's on Skis. Nilsson takes first place with a time of 1:46.44. It does look like Yuda had some internet issues. He did get timed out from the IRC channel, so maybe he won't be finishing the race today. But he was a fair bit behind, so it's not like an upset or anything because of that.
We are now joined by NilssonAlex. Good games, Nilsson.
Thanks.
GG.
What a seed.
I told you guys, man, nobody listens to me. I told you before the race started to go into Ice Palace.
Yeah, you did, but I was like, yeah, let's do Meyer. So I've seen the hammer so many times inside Meyer, but at least he got something from Meyer, but it felt stupid when I went in Ice Palace.
So I think like the big oh my gosh play this seed wasn't really the hammer, because you guys kind of got bottlenecked into that. It wasn't so much a god vision to get it. You just ran out of options and had to go to ice. But the big play was Pyramid Fairy. So talk to us about what inspired you to take that dip when you're a sword from go mode and you have all of Ganon's Tower to do.
Well, I had a bad feeling about. Well, first of all, I really didn't want to do Fire Sword Swamp Palace, but I felt like I don't want to do left side swamp. And since I was just looking for a sword, I felt like let's clear out the 5-6 crystals and save Pyramid Fairy. And since I also knew that if I'm going to end up with only Master Sword and no silver arrows, I need like potions, and I knew that there was blue potions from the fairies, or the thing in the fairy. So I felt like that was a good way to route in potions at the same time as getting 2 extra checks.
Okay, well, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I hate to tell you this, but the fairies are actually independent of each other.
Oh, okay. Well,
you weren't guaranteed to get blue potions. It could have been bees.
Well, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, the potion fill from the fairies is actually dependent on whether it's a Dark World or Light World. So they're both randomized independently. It just happened to work out that they're both blue potions this time.
Well, either way, I got lucky on that one, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that sword was huge, and especially since you ended up not finding one on the way. So we actually have no information on where the other swords were. We can certainly guess, though. You didn't see all of Ganon's Tower. We never saw Turtle Rock.
Yeah, the only thing I know with Turtle Rock is that silver arrows isn't Turtle Rock, so I guess that's something to be like, yay, I only have silver arrows, let's go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, the seed on the whole, it was kind of a gross seed, required hammerless dip into Ice Palace to get the cane, to kill Fire Sword Vitreous for your hammer.
Yeah, when I was doing that, I was in full tilt mode because I was like, okay, I'm going to dip in here to Meyer. I was like, do I do Meyer or do I do Ice Palace first? And I was like, well, I've seen the hammer so many times being inside Meyer. Let's do that. There was no hammer, so let's go to Ice Palace. And the first chest, red mail, I was like, oh, come on. And then it was like, Games Mario. And then go back and I was like, I had no options. Like, it was either that or going back up to the mountain because I missed Spiral Cave, I think it was. So that was my last option, I think.
Now, did you miss it or did you skip it?
I got dead rocked in front of Tower of Farah and jumped down by accident, so I missed my portal. So I missed it by accident.
Okay, so it was an accident. You didn't intend to skip it, because at the time I thought you were intending to skip it, and you just didn't want to go all the way back there for it.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to do it because I had a bad feeling when I didn't find a hammer or a sword. Anyway, I think it took me like an hour to get my first sword. So because I was pretty sure when I got the blue cane from Pod that hey, there might be a sword on what's his name, Blind, but hey, it was a catfish, so I guess that's great.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of differentiation in the routing between the two of you. For instance, I'm trying hard to remember which of you did what, but I think Yuta started in the Village of Outcasts and you went to Skullwoods first.
Yeah, I did that.
So Yuta ended up doing Thieves Town and getting his boots really early, where you passed on Thieves Town entirely, and it was a long time before you got the boots. And then you got Catfish at different times. One of you did Catfish before Pod, the other one did it after, but you both ended up going to Pod and getting nothing to show for it.
Yeah, like there are so many times when you like find something good inside, inside Pod. So I was like, pretty sure it was something inside of Pod, but I guess it was only the blue cane. So not really anything you get excited with, but hey, it worked out.
I think it was for you. You hadn't done Catfish yet at that point.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so the blue cane for you was like, hey, I can kill blind now.
Yeah, exactly. That was like blue cane, and I had half magic. I was like, this is working out great.
And we were also joined by eudaimonistic, who looks like he had some internet trouble there at the end.
I've been going in and out of tunnels so much that I'm not even sure you're going to hear this entire sentence.
We hear you pretty good.
Hey, all right. Well, GG's, of course, to NilssonAlex. I kind of had a feeling climbing up GT. I'm like, he's got to have another sword. I must have left it in, like, Hera basement or something. So I wasn't surprised to see that done. The front...
And we lost you. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I didn't do Hera. Well, I did Hera, kind of. But, like, I had no weapon, so I was like, I'm skipping the rest of it.
Yeah, Yuta went up to Hera and climbed the dungeon, looking for a second item, or for items at all, but ended up not finding anything. And also unable to kill the boss.
Yeah, that's why I never did that. Like, going up the rest of the... I went into a room with the 3 beetles or whatever they are, and, like, nope, I'm skipping.
Hey, you can always throw pots. There's an option. You just can't kill the boss, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
So, we've been having trouble watching what's happened with you on the stream. You do have a Master Sword we can see, but we did not get to see where you found it.
Okay, so it was in the, what's it called? The 2 fire bar room in left side GT. But
okay.
So did it start getting choppy like right when I got into GT then?
It got choppy right when you beat Argus.
Yeah, like you were on the holding the crystal animation for like 5 straight minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my ISP today, but yeah, the story is pretty straightforward from there. I went right side full, didn't do Ice Armos, then went left. Found my sword and started climbing.
Okay,
Other
so
than
you
that,
found
the
it
only things
right
you guys...
after the key.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't like, nothing too fancy going on, but I did fall to Master Sword Silverless Ganon like 3 spins away and then redid it.
Oh.
And now we're caught up.
So at the very least, like the internet troubles didn't cause the loss or anything. Like Nilsson was a fair bit ahead when the internet troubles started. So like, that's some consolation, right? Like it's not like my ISP caused me to lose a race.
No, I had a pretty good feeling. As soon as I was entering GT, I'm thinking, it's either I left a sword somewhere or... So, Nilsson, did you actually, Alex, did you do a Master Sword Silver Ganon or Silverless?
I did Silverless Master Sword. I got my from Pyramid Fair.
Oh, man, that was the other place I was going to check, too.
Yes,
I mean, there was a good shot to do it.
With the Master Sword in hand, once he found the big key, he was done, didn't continue doing checks.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that it was like a ton of GT that I explored, unnecessarily, but knowing that, you could have just gone right up the tower. And plus there was a chance for tempered, so if I had opted to do that, I might have actually been closer overall.
Well, I think the best option was what you did. Like, Pyramid Fairy is a very slow check. I don't think it was worth, after all. Like, even if you ended up getting tempered from it.
Maybe I'm just thinking of how poorly my Master Sword Ganon fight went. So I mean,
yeah, I mean the
difference, which is great.
If it meant you didn't fall, then yeah, it was worth definitely.
Although maybe you guys will end up seeing it when it catches up.
Yeah, it looks like on the restream you did fall already, and you're on your second fight.
Well, hey, I gotta say,
it was,
this was a heck of a weird seed.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting. Fighter sword with vitreous getting your hammer. That's gross.
Yeah, so
got how you can only do spins, so I was like, oh right, didn't save the arrows.
Yeah, so you were actually you got randoed a bit hard at the beginning there, Yuda. Opting to skip out on Hobo, which had the Moon Pearl. Then you also skipped out on Dark Cross, which had the Fire Rod. Luckily, when you did run out of options and you had to go back to those locations, you got the Fire Rod first. Because I feel like this could have gone way worse if you got the Moon Pearl before the Fire Rod.
Yeah, absolutely. At every turn, when I started seeing these things, I was like, this feels like a win for Alex here.
I actually thought the other way around, because I did some stupid stuff in the beginning. Like I don't know if you caught it, but I messed up the chicken clip. So
Oh yeah, you saw
yeah. yeah. So I had to save and quit before I activated flute.
Okay,
yeah,
so
we not only caught that, somebody clipped it.
Good. All is right with the world then.
But I did Koi one sees some weird stuff, so it's like I did at least give him something, right?
Oh, we gave
so you could have saved it. I don't know how many times you've actually soft locked right there, but you know there was a way to save that, right?
Yeah, but I was like, screw that. But I think my early game was pretty good. Otherwise, except that thing that happened because I did bomb escape early on, got my bow super early.
Yeah, both of you ended up doing Uncle Start and then continuing into front of escape with bombs.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
I kind of thought you weren't going to do that, so I was trying to play against like the meta, I think. So that ended up being pretty funny. Great.
Yeah, because I thought
it's definitely a less common play.
Yeah, I didn't think Yuda would do it either, so I was like, hey, let's do something different, right?
Oh, but as soon as I found that flute, like real early on, I'm like, no.
I got more worried about the lamp and the cape situation in the beginning.
No, it's okay, because you never found a sword.
Yeah, 1 hour in, yippee.
Yeah, gosh, I think it was like, what, an hour 40 or hour 35 or something like that for our master sword. When did you get your second sword? You mentioned in Pyramid Fairy, so that was pretty late too, right?
Yeah, you did it right before going to GT.
Yeah.
What an amazing turn of events. Well, this is making me feel a whole lot better about my chances of actually, having a decent run in this league. Because, I mean, even though this was a pretty wide berth between the two of us, I felt like I was reasonably within, arm's length of maybe competing, and didn't go nearly as poorly as I expected. If it weren't for that Ganon fall, this would look a lot closer in numbers. Maybe like a good 4 or 5 minutes faster.
Yeah, it's...
both of you were just like, a decision or two away from this being a much faster seed, absolutely.
But did you do Ice Palace before Meyer?
No.
Well, okay, then we did the same thing.
I saw him, man. He went all the way up to the front of Ice Palace and then changed his mind and went to Hookshot Cave instead.
I was convinced that I needed to do everything else that I could first to try and get that hammer, and then by the time that I had that Samaria and Ice Palace, I knew it could only be on Vitreous.
Yeah, it probably would have worked out a little better if you had made the play into Ice Palace first. Like, you still would have had to go to Hookshot Cave to get the bombos, but it would have been a single dip of Meyer, which saves a minute or so.
Actually, that sword at Catfish saved me because I was going to Meyer area without a sword. Because I was like, I can open up Meyer and go in there, but I didn't have a sword. But I got saved by Catfish.
Well, at the end of the day, I think you both played very well, very impressive play from both of you. Like, you both made mistakes. Like, nobody had a perfect run or anything.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody, both of you were able to take those mistakes in stride and make the best of the situation. Like, the most notable point of that, I think, was you, Yuda, on your Vitreous fight.
Yeah,
Like,
the arrow.
it was 100% a mistake to spend all your arrows to get through phase 1.
No way to
But
blame
you weren't
me.
dismayed. You kept going, man. 36 spins. Let's do it.
Wait, that's how
I
many
know plenty of players. Yeah, I think 36 is right.
Jeez.
It's a lot of spins for Fighter Sword.
Let's go. I'm gonna get so dizzy.
So like it wasn't a perfect Vitreous fight or anything, but you know, you didn't get tilted and like accidentally die or nope out of the fight or anything. And I think that's just as impressive as you know, not making the mistake in the first place.
You know, I think it really speaks to the format of the league, though. I mean, it doesn't feel as high pressure to, you know, be perfect and stuff in this, you know, format. You've got other races ahead of you no matter what. So I mean, that's an exciting part of, you know, just being just week 1 open, you know, defeat Ganon. I'm sure things are only going to go downhill from here.
I mean,
in the best
with
way.
this kind of seed, could it be like going downhill after this one? Like this one was pretty bad.
Hey, I'm just glad I sub-2'd it.
But I think that's...
I ain't seen a dot done.
Yeah, so eventually I was able to get back into the IRC channel. I've never actually had a disconnect during a race before, so that was a little weird to me. I'm sure most of you folks out there who race a lot are very familiar with how that works, but...
Oh, I see it now. You did dot done.
Yeah, finally. Not that the
eudaimonistic finishes second place with a time of 2 hours and 12 minutes. Darn you, IRC!
I guess IRC is going to tell a different tale of the tape.
We know it was sub 2, even if IRC disagrees.
If it's sub 2 in your heart, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. But I'm going to bail out. Thank you guys for putting us on Restream, and GG's to Udai. And thank you, Koi and Ricky, for the commentary, and iBot for the tracking. Thank you, guys.
GG's, Alex. Thanks for the game, man.
My pleasure.
Well, just to echo the same sentiments, really awesome to have an opportunity to be on Restream. Thank you, Speed Gaming, for that. And then, of course, Koi and Ricky of Kokiri for having alliterative names and being awesome on the mic. I'm sure I'm going to have fun listening back to this.
I didn't make fun of you all that much.
No, you know what, though? If you made pun of me, I'm happy.
No, I can't do the puns. I appreciate them, but I can't do them. They're too hard. I need you for that.
Come on, Ricky, please tell me that you told at least one pun today.
I am not a pun meister at all. That would be my brother, so sorry. Out of luck with that one for me.
All right, geez. Now I feel like there's all this pressure that I gotta tell something funny. All right, here's an unrelated, not Zelda pun. Maybe you guys have heard this one before. Oh, it's a joke, really. What kind of overalls does Super Mario wear?
I don't know, Yuda. What kind of overalls does Super Mario wear?
Denim.
It hurts!
Okay. I appreciated that one. That was good. I like it.
I refuse to leave you guys without at least some kind of humor.
All right, guys. We have now kicked Yuda out of the voice channel. He cannot hurt us anymore.
Thank you both for the awesome race. Thank you, Koi, for having me co-commentate with you. My first time doing one with Koi, which was awesome.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Nobody wanted to com with me, and I was begging in the channel, somebody please help me, please. And Ricky was like, all right, I don't really like you, but you know, I guess I can stomach Koi for 2 hours. It's fine. And I appreciate that, Ricky.
Thank you, iBot, for tracking, keeping us all up to date. And thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting us for this league. We have many more matches on the way, more tonight, more tomorrow, all throughout the week. The league is running full steam ahead. Thank you all for watching.
6 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
It is not ending. We have the same number of races to do every single week for these first 7 weeks. So look out to the Speed Gaming channels and the League channel for all those restreams. Well, I guess that does it, you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Have a go.
Bye.